Introducing the Mr. Good Media. Put in the effort. Go the distance. The lend a hand man with a plan. Your host for the evening, John Clay. Let us explore the vastness of the internet, looking for information. Introducing the Mr. Good Media. Put in the effort. Go the distance. The lend a hand man with a plan. Your host for the evening, John Clay. Let us explore the vastness of the internet, looking for information on anything from complex situations to fun facts. Ladies and gentlemen, turn up your sound and dive with us down the rabbit hole.
Good morning. So, getting this going. Hope y'all are having a good Saturday morning. Y'all are getting your coffee in and getting perky and just ready for whatever in-home festivities you can have today. So, again, hope y'all are doing well. We're going to see what we can find on the internet today. If anybody has any topics that they would like to discuss, feel free to let me know, and we'll see what we can find. Hope y'all are having a blessed day. So, let's get this going. Still a work in progress. We're getting there, though. Bam. So, I don't know. Last time we talked about flow state and how we could use that to improve our performance. You know, just making sure you're doing things you like, and making sure that you're finding time to do those things, and making them a priority. You know, I was kind of wanting to see, looking at optimizing the brain. So how can we make our brain work better? So let's see what we can find. How can we make our brain sharp, healthy, or strong? We'll start with sharp. Lumosity, brain games. I played that. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I enjoyed it a lot. I did it for a bit. So, things it talks about. Here are 10 activities you can incorporate into your life to help keep your mind sharp and brain nourished. Exercise. It has long been understood that mind and body are interconnected. Yep, they are. Read a book, eat right, maintain good posture. So you gotta sit upright. Sleep well, paint, draw, or doodle, listen to music, learn something new. Let's see what else is in this. So, a placeformom.com. Seeing what we can find here. We'll go to 9 and 10. Do puzzles and write. So let's go into a little bit of depth on these, see what it says. So, it has long been understood that mind and body are interconnected. What benefits the body will benefit the brain. Regular exercise goes a long way to keeping the brain healthy. Reading is beneficial on many levels. When you read, not only do you absorb the information contained in the book, but the act of reading itself builds connections within the brain that make it more versatile. Many foods, including nuts, fish, red wine, have been linked to a healthy brain, but concentrating on all-around healthy diet may be the best nutritional strategy for keeping the brain sharp. So, nuts, fish, and red wine, all things I very much enjoy. Maintaining an upright posture. Unslouched posture improves circulation and blood flow to the brain. I hadn't thought about that, but it makes sense, right? You don't get a whole lot of I guess your spinal fluid would grow up to your skull through that canal, and therefore the more unkinked the hose is, the better the flow. Makes sense. So going back to exercise, one of the things I think I would help with that, and I'll preach it again, is yoga. So do some yoga, challenge yourself, work on your posture, and your brain will work better. Super important. Sleep well. I think sleeping well is probably the most important thing you can do for your brain. If you're not sleeping well, how do you feel? You wake up groggy, you're not as focused. I feel like that's pretty instantaneous, where you can see the results of what a good night's sleep will do for you versus not. So make sure your sleep is a priority. I want to see a good night's sleep. Let's see if we can read what it says on here. Elderly insomnia, causes and treatment. So, everyone experiences an occasional restless night, but for those who toss and turn regularly, the inability to sleep can be a source of intense frustration and may even have serious consequences. Sleep is just as essential as air, water, or food. We need continuous, uninterrupted sleep to restore energy, feel refreshed, and maintain our health and well-being. Difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, a disorder known as insomnia, is more prevalent than people may realize. In fact, insomnia for seniors is very common, affecting almost 50% of adults and 60 and older. Reports of National Institute of Health, this form of sleep deprivation is often debilitating and lasts for days, months, or even years. Normal sleep patterns are disrupted, affecting both sleeping and waking hours. Memory loss, irritability, depression, and a variety of other symptoms can result. Okay, let's go into sleep basics. Sleep requirements and patterns change throughout the life cycle. According to the National Sleep Foundation, newborns and infants need about 16 hours of sleep in a 24-hour span. A shift to later sleep-wake cycle occurs for adolescents, and 9 hours of sleep is adequate. Adults require 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Surprisingly, seniors need the same, 7 to 9 hours, though they do experience a shift to an earlier sleep-wake cycle. Say my wife needs more. I don't think that includes pregnant women, for sure. So, sweetheart, if you watch this later on, I completely understand why you're sleeping right now, incubating a baby. Quality sleep is important as quantity for rejuvenating the body. While drifting off, our body enters into NREM, non-rapid eye movement sleep, and goes through 4 stages, beginning with light sleep, progressing to deeper sleep. During the 5th stage, known as REM, rapid eye movement sleep, breathing becomes irregular and shallow, our eyes move rapidly, limb muscles become immobile, and dreaming may occur. The entire NREM and REM cycle lasts for about 90 to 110 minutes and usually takes place 4 to 5 times during normal sleep. Research shows that seniors tend to sleep lighter and for shorter spans, spending less time in REM sleep. This change is attributed to the aging process, but can also result from health problems. Whatever the cause, disruptions in the sleep cycle may lead to insomnia for seniors. Excuse me. So, as you get older, I guess it's kind of a normal thing. Haven't experienced too much of that yet. Of course, I really do try to make sleep a priority, making sure I get enough sleep in, making sure that everything's nice and cold, everything's blacked out, and that I'm not looking at my screen too much before I go to bed. Those things help, and I find them extremely beneficial. Also, the more active you are throughout the day, you're gonna tire yourself out, and as you tire yourself out, well, guess what? You're gonna find it easier to sleep. So stay active. Biggest thing for your health. To go along. I mean, all this stuff is interconnected. There's no way you can just miss one part of the cycle, and um, it's like taking a block out, a piece of the foundation out from under your house. You do that, and it's gonna collapse one way or another. You're gonna find the holes in it. So doing everything to keep that connected and going, yeah, that's you got to make those things a priority. So let's go insomnia symptoms and causes. Dr. Sunit Mistry, a pulmonary critical care and sleep medicine specialist in Los Angeles and a diplomat of the American Board of Sleep Medicine, refers to two categories of insomnia: sleep onset insomnia, characterized by difficulty with falling asleep, and sleep maintenance insomnia, which relates to the inability to remain asleep throughout the night. Chronic insomnia, regarded as more serious than transient or intermittent insomnia, appears nightly for a month or more and left untreated may persist for years. Recognizing that your loved one has insomnia can be challenging since sleeplessness occurs overnight. The following checklist may be useful in helping you identify possible signs and symptoms. Taking more than 30 to 45 minutes to fall asleep. I definitely do not have that problem. Having trouble staying asleep. Not a problem most of the time. Waking up early, unable to fall back asleep. Depression. I've dealt with depression. I think it's been more circumstantial than anything. Night falls. I'm guessing that means just falling down during the middle of the night, which does happen, especially for a lot of elderly. I've had so many patients where, they're up in the middle of the night and they're trying to get around, and next thing you know, down on the ground. And just not a good situation. You're leaving yourself to a lot of times fractured hips, fractured wrists, things like that. Signs to look for during the day. So I think this is where most of us can help as far as assessing what's going on with our loved ones during the day. Feeling drowsy, tired, or exhausted, complaining of being up all night, depression, accidents due to sleep deprivation, irritability, impaired memory, difficulty concentrating. So, yeah, you start seeing those things, maybe you should ask them how they're sleeping, and seeing what you can do. Maybe talking to them about some of the strategies they can take to better their sleep, thus bettering their health. So, insomnia diagnosis. Diagnosing. So, I'm going to stay away from the causes of insomnia. Pain, frequent urination. That's something I would say. Definitely make sure you're cutting off your fluid intake in the last 2 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Makes a huge difference. I tend to make increasing my fluid intake first thing in the morning. Getting multiple cups of water in early in the day, and then I start tapering off as the day goes on. That helps me a lot, and I'm not having to wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. Movement and sleep disorders, restless leg syndrome, periodic limb movement disorder, snoring, sleep apnea, and others are linked to insomnia. Making sure the sleep apnea, making sure that they have clear passageways, they're getting a CPAP, those things help. Weight loss. Most sleep apnea is associated with being overweight. So again, movement will help. There's so many aspects where moving and diet will play into sleep, and the better you sleep, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the more you're doing. There's just, like I said, it's all connected. So keep that together. Now, this is something I think we really need to know. I do feel is very important to talk about, because people who aren't sleeping well, they're going to be more prone to dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, right? Because you got to think like, when is our body healing? It's healing when we're sleeping, and that's our brain especially. So if our brain isn't healing and getting the care it needs, then you start having these neurological disorders like dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, Lou Gehrig's, those things, and you don't want those. You don't want any of them. They're horrible. I've working in the healthcare field. I've seen them, uh, and I definitely would not recommend setting yourself up for failure to get one of those diseases. Um, let's see. It is determined another condition or medication is causing insomnia. Addressing these issues first is important. As preventative as well as treatment measure, Mystery recommends focusing on proper sleep hygiene and provides some suggestions to promote healthy sleeping and improve habits. Here we go. This is stuff that I love right here. Habits. Habits are crucial. A regular sleep-wake schedule. So make sure you're going to bed at a certain time. Feel free to turn that TV off. Really, you should try it for an hour. 30 minutes is fine before you're gonna go to bed. I stretch too. If I'm watching my nightly TV, and then I'll stretch for a little bit beforehand. I enjoy that. Just focusing on some breath work that helps me a lot before I go to sleep. Exercise early in the day or no later than 4 hours before bed, right? A sleep environment that is dark, quiet, safe, and comfortable. Yeah. Activities that encourage relaxation before bed, such as warm bath or shower or calming music. Um, Again, I would add stretching into there, just things that relax the muscles, help alleviate any tension or pain. That way it's just more comfortable for you to go to sleep. Avoid caffeine, of course. Avoid heavy meals, spicy food, and excessive amounts of liquid. So yeah, especially on spicy foods when you go to lay down, especially like me, I love to lay on my right side, which isn't good for heartburn. And I just don't, as I've gotten older, I don't eat a whole lot of spicy foods. It kind of messes with me. I don't think I'm supposed to eat spicy foods anymore. It's just not good. So I try to avoid them, and especially later during the day. Maybe if I'm out and about for lunch, not too bad. I'll get a little spice fix, but for the most part, I try to avoid it nowadays. Let's see. Naps. Yeah, I don't take naps. I'm just not a napping person. The only time I want to sleep during the day is if I'm like on my deathbed. It just doesn't happen otherwise. Um, Activities in bed that may cause anxiety, such as work, reading, or television. So, yeah, don't work before bed. Avoid the television before bed. I don't. I've never heard reading really causing an issue, but I guess it could. Um, like I said, for me, I like to stretch and just focus on my breath. I think that makes the best, gives me the best results. And I sleep pretty well. Then I always wake up a little, but I wash my face, get a little caffeine, and I'm good to go. So that's why I'm ready to go here at 7:30. Um, are sleeping pills safe? I would say do everything to avoid medications that you can. Just stick to trying to have a healthy diet and eating right. You know, doing the activities that we talked about up here. Uh, I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor about that one. But for me, that's what works best. Okay, so we're good here. Let's go back to here. So sleep well, paint, draw, or doodle. I don't paint as much as I'd like to. I just don't have the time, especially under the circumstances. I'm having to do different work than I usually would. Therapy is kind of slow for me at this point in time, and I'm kind of transitioning out of therapy. So things are just not where I'd like them to be. But we are getting there. And yeah, so just things to work on. Um, I know I have to do some painting here for my daughter's canvas. as my wife's expecting a baby, we're putting some artwork up in her bedroom. And so we had a canvas for my wife, canvas for Khaleesi, and a canvas for myself. And lo and behold, I'm the last one to do it. Go figure. So I'll get around to it eventually. Listen to music. I love listening to music, dancing, even been working on making music. That is something I'm having fun with. And, as far as painting, drawing, or doodling goes, going back to that, I'm not, I'm focusing more on, I guess, doing that in a virtual sense. I've been doing a lot of photoshopping and editing in that regard. That's something I've been practicing with. Still a work improvement, not quite ready to do what I would like to do. Hey, what's up, brother? So, good morning, Matt. Yay. So, yeah, listening to music, learning something new. Like I said, been working on learning a bunch on photo editing, video editing, music making. That's been my new things. Practicing, working on looking at my podcast and kind of revamping and seeing what I can make better. Like I said, I had to learn how to do a green screen. That was pretty fun and exciting for me, and pretty excited. I've just been able to progress in that sense. So, yeah. I would also look at, they say puzzles. Not much into puzzles. I mean, I have a puzzle that I've been supposed to work on for years, and I just have not gotten around to doing that. That might be something I do tomorrow, though. Spend some time with the family, work on a puzzle, see what I can create there. And let's see. Last thing is writing. I have been doing a bunch of writing as of recently. One of the things I want to work on right now is because I have all the video editing and music making software is I'm working on trying to create a music video. I'm actually in the process of writing a song currently for the circumstance called Quarantine, which I'm enjoying. I enjoy rhyming and just being creative and thinking about the circumstances and trying to incorporate that into music. So that's pretty fun and exciting for me. If y'all have any ideas, tips on or things that y'all are doing as far as writing goes, let us know. If any of these are applicable to you, or if you have any questions or concerns to any of these things, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to discuss them and see if we can find something that's going to work for you. I think we're kind of at the end of our show. Let's look at this day in history. So, April 11th. What has happened on April 11th? You've been writing songs and poems? That's good. Glad to hear that, Matt. You're gonna have to share some of that with me. See, my friend Matt is awesome, great singer, pretty cool dude. He's helped me a ton with this. April 11th is National Safe Motherhood Day. Huh, and National Pet Day. That is awesome. I'm gonna have to post some pictures of my pets. It being National Pet Day. Did not know that. Who was born on April 11th? Anybody interested? No one I necessarily know. No one there. And so I'm pretty excited about this National Pet Day. I have some pictures with my dogs that I think are pretty cool. So I'll have to share that. I'll have to write that down. National Pet Day. Okay, historical events on this day. Today in history. Let's see. And then in 491, Flavius Anastasius becomes Byzantine emperor. Interesting. That's quite some time ago. I was hoping for something more recent. Let's see if we can find something on highlights. Uh, huh. 2015, Barack Obama and Raul Castro meet in Panama, the first meeting of U.S. and Cuban heads of state since the Cuban Revolution. That's pretty cool. Yeah. 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act. It's pretty neat as well. So we got our events of history. I think we had good conversations about how to optimize our brain health. And if you have any questions or concerns, or just want to talk, or have any topics you want to learn about in the future, feel free to reach out to us on social media. I'd love to discuss them. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy your Easter weekend, and you'll see me again Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. For our next show. So again, have a great weekend. Bye bye.